What is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. This is the Ramage show. We're going to talk about some Green Bay Packers today. We got week one action happening right now. We've been waiting a long time for this, long off season. And we are here now. We are done with the off season. And Bears fandom, they're in misery right now because the off season has ended. But here we go. Week one, Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers. Get after it. Hammer the chat. I want to talk to you. We're going to have a good time tonight. Talk about Micah Parsons. There's a lot to talk about in this Green Bay Packers in week one. But big shout out to the sponsor of the show, Quick Trip and Nick Law. Quick Trip, I was just at their facilities, got to tour the whole, they have like factories. They have like a whole community of factories. They have so many factories over there. It was awesome that we hung out afterwards. I talked about this on a podcast I did the other day, and we had a good time, dude. I'll tell you that. We had a fantastic time. Shout out to Quick Trip. They take care of their people. They take care of their employees. They take care of their people that they sponsor. Quick Trip is a great company. Proud to be rocking with them. So go over there and get yourself some Glazers. Go out there and check out the hot spot. And if you're coming to a game this year, that's a spot for the tailgate needs. You know what I mean? You need cheese curds. You need cheese. You need brats. You need all the stuff that you need for a tailgate. Go ahead and check out Quick Trip. And Nick Law. If you get injured in an accident on the way there, he's going to help you out. If you're missing work and whatnot, insurance companies are being funny with you. Nick Law is the man that's got your back. The whole crew over there is outstanding. But hammer the chat real quick, real people. I actually have a graphic for that. There we go. Hammer the chat. Let's talk. I want to hear what everyone has to say. Parsons is a Green Bay Packer. Number one. A lot of people are upset about Parsons being number one. I'm not gonna say a lot, but there's some folks that aren't liking it that much, dude. But Curly Lambeau wore so many numbers. I don't think it matters. Like I'm a historian when it comes to the Packers. I wouldn't say a historian like I know a lot of stuff, but like I respect the history. I want the history to not be tampered with. But number one, Curly Lambeau wore so many numbers. That's why he wasn't officially retired. I think he played in it 2 games out of it. Or 2 seasons out of 11. So, the number I don't think is as enshrined in history as people think. And the stadium is named after him. There's a statue in front of that stadium named after him. You know what I mean? So, here we go. There we go. Hammer in the comments. I thought you were talking about me. I had a couple. I ain't gonna lie to you. What is up, Tiffany? How you doing today? Week one's right around the corner. We got some tailgates going on. I'm gonna be down there. Speaking of Tiffany, I'm gonna be down there. Tailgate. I'm not going to go to the game. I'm going to come back and live stream this thing because I think that'd be fun. And I got some new graphics. I'm not going to show them until the game, but I have some excellent graphics that someone made me. Touchdown graphic, field goal graphic. We might even have a Quick Trip mascot. But I kind of leaked that one over on the Instagram in my story. But yeah, dude. We're going to have a fun season right here. So let's get to some comments. This is going to be an all-comment show. I'm by myself, so hang out with me, hammer the chat, and let's talk. What's up, Matt Ramage, Go Pack Go from California. You guys all have a blessed day. Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary at the edge, and Wyatt with Wooden in the middle. Oh, man. Yeah, dude, this is going to be a fantastic I want to talk a lot about this defense. I want to get to some more comments over here. Tiffany says shot skeets. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, and Steve Zabel, he's the one who made those graphics. Good evening, Mr. Ramage. Less than a week to go, my friend. He made these fantastic graphics for me, and they're going to be really fun to use during the games. But let's talk about the Green Bay Packers, and be sure to hammer the chat. Let me know what you're thinking about this. But Micah Parsons, let's just talk about him. First of all, number one, I'm not going to dwell on this because I was talking about a little bit before. I don't care. They have the statues. They have the stadium named after him. We're good with number one. And then we're going to talk about Matthew Golden in a minute too. All right, I got kind of sidetracked here. But Micah Parsons, what he does for this defense, I think Rashawn Gary's going to go nuts this season. I think Rashawn Gary's going to go absolutely ballistic. I know some people have some opinions on Rashawn Gary and kind of about this defense as a whole last season, but the defense I don't think was nearly as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. This defense, I forget what someone said, was it the top 10, whatever it was. I don't have the details in front of me, but Rashawn Gary with Parsons, and they can't double Rashawn Gary. I want to see what he can do. When you got someone on the field that like needs like he's gonna be the Parsons gonna be the number one attention. Everyone's gonna be talking about him. Everyone's gonna be preparing for him all week long. I want to see what this pass rush can do because with a pass rush, I think this defense is nasty. Like last season, it was what it was, but like they didn't have a pass rush all the time. They had a pass rush sometimes, but they didn't. With the pass rush, it's going to help the secondary, obviously. But and Van Ness, I think he might go wild. People talking training camp, like how good he looked. I can't wait. I cannot wait. So let me get. I want to see your thoughts over here. We got just call me Tay says at work, and I wanted to pop in and say what's up to my fellow cheesehead brother. What's up, Matt and friends? What is up? I appreciate you stopping in over here. Tiffany says, why do people care about numbers so much? Yeah, I don't get the whole number thing. I mean, I like the historic numbers not being tampered with, but like I don't think that's one of them. I don't think he would care. They didn't have numbers like when he first started. They didn't care about numbers back then. Anyways, let's keep the chat rolling. Parsons just made a bunch of matchup issues for opponents. Exactly. That's just it. Because it's not just what Parsons can do. It's but what can Parsons do for you? You know what I mean? Like Rashawn Gary's going to flourish. There's going to be a lot of guys who benefit from this. The linebackers, everyone, the secondary, everyone's going to benefit. It's just another deep weapon. People say one player doesn't win a Super Bowl. Yeah, one player does create a lot of matchups, makes a lot of guys put them in better positions. You know what I mean? To succeed. So one guy can be fantastic. And people who say one guy doesn't like win championships, I'm not sure that is true. I'm not saying that because Parsons is on the team, they're going to win a Super Bowl. First of all, I think I predicted a Super Bowl before he was even traded. So, like, I have high hopes for this team. The one thing that kind of bothered me was the secondary and obviously the pass rush. But by getting Parsons, like, they fix both those things. I wouldn't say fix, but help both those things for sure. The secondary, no matter what you think about it, if you have a pass rush and now quarterbacks maybe make decisions, half cocked or whatever, and you don't need to get sacks every time. Just get in the quarterback's face, make the quarterback make a quick decision, hopefully a bad decision. You know what I mean? And yeah, I think my voice is starting to weird out. But anyways, Steve says, I think because of the pressure we'll get with our D-line, our secondary may get a lot of picks this year. Yeah, Xavier McKinney, they were able to stay away from him. Like the second half of that season, he had all those picks, I think 6 in a row, whatever it was. But then they figured out, let's just not throw over there. But like now when you have a pass rush and they don't have time to think, they make decisions on the fly, you know what I mean? And hopefully they're bad ones. Jesse says, how many picks do you think X will have? I think about 8 to 11 picks. I think that's a good number. Let's just go with 10. I'll say 10 right off the bat right here. I think it's going to be a big year. I actually think Parsons, I know people are going to say like I'm biased and I'm delusional, but he's winning Defensive Player of the Year. I feel like when a big defensive player like Parsons, like even in the past, like let's just say compared to Charles Woodson, that was like I wouldn't say a bad team because the Cowboys weren't like what the Raiders were, but he's like rejuvenized, like he's excited. He wants to ball. So I just feel like whatever he was as a great player, he's just gonna ball out even more. And I know like all the Cowboys fans, everyone's talking about that injury, but I thought it was very interesting that injury for Parsons got really chatted about after the trade. And people are like, oh, the Packers got fleeced. Like, do you think the Packers didn't give him a physical? You think the Packers don't know exactly what's going on with Micah Parsons? Like, they know. They know everything. And there's no way, like, the way the Packers operate, they don't trade away picks and then give a huge contract. So they don't do that already. You think they're going to do that if there's any thought in their mind that this injury is something to actually worry about? Like, no, it's not. I'm not saying it was a made-up injury, because he hated the Cowboys and Jerry Jones. They had obviously some beef going on. I think there's probably an injury there, but I don't think as serious as it was. And maybe he hyped it up more for them because he was like, screw you. He obviously doesn't like the Cowboys. He doesn't like how the Cowboys operate. He doesn't like Jerry Jones. They got beef. So like that is why it was not. And then everyone's saying, well, that's why Jerry Jones didn't sign him. Didn't Jerry Jones give him a contract and he didn't sign it? Like, I think he gave him a similar contract that the Packers gave him. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what people are saying. So they weren't worried about that injury. Like, it's a back injury. Maybe he'll be in pain sometimes, but like he's a tough guy. They're tough guys, you know what I mean? So I think that they'll figure it out. I don't think it's nearly as bad. It's not a worry to me at all. I'm not even the least bit worried about the injury. What is up, Ronald? How you doing? He says, hey Matt, go Pack, go. Steve says Parsons will be a huge addition. Steve said, yeah, Steve Smith over here. Shout out. I thought it was a different name, so I'm just saying. But yeah, he's gonna be so huge. I don't think that people. I think people do understand. So I won't say that. I think, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy that he's a Green Bay Packer. And then I see like all these clips on Instagram and whatnot of like these Lions radio people, these Detroit Lion radio people, and they're like, Parsons isn't that good, and isn't that. It's like, dude, shut up. Shut up about that, because you just look silly because like when we play the Lions, we don't be like Hutchinson's not that good. No, we don't say that because obviously he's very good. He's a game wrecker. And like if someone's a game wrecker, just say it. And the people were saying that, well, you guys didn't think Parsons was that good when the Cowboys were playing the Packers in the playoffs. Like, yeah, we did. Ain't nobody was saying like Parsons wasn't the problem. Like they were saying that's the guy you got to try to stop or whatever. And I think the Packers did. They won pretty big on that game. I don't know like what Parsons, I don't remember. My memory don't work like that. But I'm just saying is like just saying that the dudes ain't good because you're upset and sad because the Packers got a game record. That's what it is, dude. The whole NFC North, all the radio shows, all the podcasters, they're all talking about it and telling you how it's not a problem. If it wasn't a problem, you all wouldn't be talking about it because you know what's about to happen. The Packers got that piece, baby. Packers going for the shit. I'm getting excited, you know. I mean, I'm getting excited. It is week 1. I've been waiting for this for the whole offseason been so long, but let's get to some chat over here. What's up, Nick? He said, just seems like fans of other NFC North teams want there to be something wrong with him. That's exactly what it is, dude. They're scared, bro. They're like, why do the Packers always find that piece? Dude, it's insane that the Packers actually got him because like all that rumor stuff. I believe the rumor was true that there was conversations happening, but that doesn't mean the Packers are in a lot of conversations, so that doesn't mean anything. And then like when it actually happened, like to give up what they did, like dude. But dude, now they got him locked up. They got him for a little bit. It's going to be a glorious thing. The Packers got some good stuff working for them. Jeremy says shortening the time quarterback has to throw will make corners and safeties better. Then bad balls get thrown to McKinney and in the waiting. All right, I can't read, but you got the gist of it. Thanks for the chat, Jeremy. But yeah, that's exactly it. When you have a pass rush, the Packers had like no pass rush last year, except for like a few games. They felt like they had a lot of pass rush or not at all. Like against good teams, maybe like it wasn't happening. Dude, with a pass rush, it opens up so much for the defense. You don't have to play scared. Get after it. When you can get to the quarterback and you can make the quarterback have to change and maybe throw out of position, it changes everything. And then even when you're not there, they get happy feet. It's a beautiful thing. What is up? All right, so let's keep it going. Here's Tiffany says Rashawn Gary and Micah Parsons equals so scary, dude. Yeah. And I think Van Ness is going to be a problem too. And those linebackers, not even talking about them. I think Tom Grossi said the Cowboys offered Parsons $35 million each year, guaranteed, and Parsons turned it down. Yeah, so that's what I definitely know that Tom Grossi wouldn't tell lies. So yeah, that's got to be true. And that's the thing. He just doesn't want to play there. He didn't, whatever. They had there's behind the stage stuff that we don't know about that we're going to find out about when his next podcast episode, because Parsons got a podcast and I will be listening to that podcast. I wasn't really big on the whole Pat McAfee, Aaron Rodgers thing all the time. And I'm not saying that for any particular reasons, but I just, I watched it at first a ton, but then I was like, all right, I feel like, but Parsons podcast, I feel like, especially at first, I'm not a podcast guy to begin with. I shouldn't say that because I have a podcast and I want people to listen to mine, but I don't listen to a ton of podcasts unless like something really cool comes up. Anyways, but Parsons podcast is going to be interesting to see what he has to say, because that's how I feel like this thing kind of started. Was Jordan Love was on Parsons podcast. Was the last offseason, I think. I mean, it might have been. I think it was last offseason, and he said, Parsons asked him who would be someone that you'd welcome in the locker room that would really help this the Packers locker room. He's like, you, the guy right here. So I think that's kind of how it all started. Jordan Love and Parsons obviously friends. So Yeah, I don't know what I was talking about, but let's keep it moving over here. James says Dan Campbell is scared. That's the thing with the Lions. I think the Lions probably do start a little bit slow because they have a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. I think the Lions are a good football team, but I think that there's a chance that they might start slow. Hopefully they do. For Packer fans, I think Dan Campbell's a great coach, but when you lose both coordinators, that can be tough. So hopefully he picked the right guys for him. Hopefully not for us. But the Lions are a tough team. It's going to be a tough game. It's at home. I feel like the energy is going to be there. I think with the Parsons trade, I think everyone's going to be hyped. Everyone's going to be motivated. Everyone's just going to be getting after it. Now, how much will he play? Well, how much will Parsons play? I don't expect him to play like as much as he'll play like in 5 weeks. You know what I mean? Just coming to the team. I don't think it's an issue really with like people are saying like, well, he doesn't know the defense yet because they can tell him, right? They can tell him, hey, rush the quarterback here, or there's ways to tell him, kind of clue him in. Like he's a professional. They could he's a pass rusher, so like they can say, hey, go get the quarterback, bro. All right, but I think that injury, whatever it is. But also he didn't go to training camp. He was working on his own. So they might want to work him in because they don't want to, have him go out here and pull it, tear ACL or something. So I don't know how much he'll play, how much, the workout, like how shape he's in. I assume he's in good shape, but you know what I mean? Is he in football shape? If he hasn't been at training camp, not doing the footballs, activities. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I'm just rambling here. I don't know what I'm talking about. The other teams say that stuff because we are now the youngest team again, and we have serious depth now. We're a threat, dude. The Packers. Shout out to Steven Zabel over here, but yeah, the Packers. I feel like their future just got really bright, and I don't know because I felt pretty positive before, but I had questions. Obviously, the question has been the secondary and the pass rush, and I feel like they just helped a lot with both those things by getting one player. And it's fantastic. Maddie, season's here. Let's get it, dude. That's so beautiful that the season's here. I hate the off season. It's summertime. You get to hang out to sunny or whatever. But dude, I like talking Packers football. That means something. Not like what's going to be. Well, the Packers are going to do. I want to get into the action. You know what I mean? I want to get into it. Kevin says, how about a home opener on opening weekend that add to the hype? Yeah, I think it actually does. That doesn't happen a lot for the Packers where the home openers and opening weekend. It's weird because like I don't like in the past I never wanted to play division teams in week one. I was always like it's bad to play because you're both kind of rusty, whatever. Maybe everyone doesn't play in preseason. At the beginning of the season, everyone's not always in mid-season form because it's the beginning of the season. So playing the Lions, this game means a lot, right? So I've seen a lot of people say this game decides the division. I couldn't disagree more with that. But this is a very important football game. Whoever wins this game, kind of gets to say, kind of put it in the sand. You know what I mean? Let everyone in the division know we here. All right. So whether it's the Lions or the Packers, like it's a huge game. It's a huge way to step out of the season and say, we are the kings of the North. We are taking the North because I think one of these two teams are going to do it. So I think whoever wins this game is going to be able to do that. And I think the Packers are going to be fired up. They're going to be, they're at home. They got their new toy. Everything, the hype is real. The Detroit Lions won the last two division titles. The Packers want to come out and say, dude, with the, division record from last season, they want to come out and say, dude, week one, let everyone know. Y'all notice Green Bay Packers are here, baby. That's what they want to say. You know what I mean? All right, go Pack, go, baby. What's up, Jared? How you doing today? Karen is up in the chat. She says, hi, Matt. Just checking in from Belfair, Washington. Go Pack, go. Thanks for tuning in, Karen. I appreciate you. Rory says, Bear fans just mad they gave up way more for Mac. Yeah, dude, everyone's kind of making that comparison. I even seen Bears fans make that comparison. The Packers just did the same thing. Like, no, it's not the same thing. First of all, the Packers wouldn't make this deal. Like, that is like the one thing. Because, like, I don't know. You're talking about draft picks, you're talking about cap. I had Wes Hotchkiss on my podcast. We kind of talked about, like, why we thought it wouldn't happen. It's not their way and all that. But, like, if they did it, I trust them. I do. Everyone can talk about Gutekunst all they want. Dude, he gets so much hate for a dude who just keeps getting it. Dude got Preston Smith, got Zadarius Smith, got Amos, got Campbell, made him an all-pro. Like he makes moves. Xavier McKinney, like he gets a free agent and people are like, what has he done? Like he's bringing dudes in, bro. He's not stupid though. And I trust that if they think, hey, we can do this, we can pull this off and not handicap the team for 5 years, because I don't want that. Obviously, nobody wants that. But like I believe that they know what they're doing because they've shown me that they do. And people who hate on him, like, I don't know what you're watching, because he's building a team here. He's brought in some great pieces. You got good first round pick Matthew Golden. I think Gutekunst is killing it. He's absolutely perfect. Absolutely not. But he's killing it. All right, let's get to some more comments here. Iowa Joe in the building. Jerry effed himself over. Packers got Parsons for a lot less than I figured. That was the thing, because when everyone was talking about this Parsons trade, like, all the rumorville, they were saying 2 firsts, a third, and probably a player. And people were talking about Van Ness. I never thought that was going to be a possibility that they would give up Van Ness. He's a young player. Like I feel like that he's a player on the cups. Is that the right word? Cusps? I don't know. He's about to do some big stuff. Let's just go with that one. So I don't think that they were going to give him up. But I think Kenny Clark was the guy Jerry Jones wanted. Actually, I saw a video clip of Jerry Jones talking about it. He's like, he was talking to Kenny Clark, and he said that this trade doesn't happen without you. Like, you're who we wanted. And Jerry Jones talking about stop and run. It makes sense. Kenny Clark, first of all, shout out to Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark's an absolute greatest dude, baller. And Cowboys got a good one. But I think it was a fair trade. I'm happy with the trade. Sorry to see Kenny Clark go, but that's, it's a business, and best of luck to him over there. I think he'll do well. But all right, so let's keep her moving with the comment over here. Lions also lost a Hall of Fame center, Rory says. So there we go. We got more. Did he retire? Like, I'm not even up on the Lions roster, every piece, obviously. Especially offensive line. Cam Newton is going to regret saying we're not a threat. Dude, Cam Newton says a lot of stuff. And I ain't got no hate for Cam Newton. I like that he's out there. He's saying stuff, but he just says stuff, dude. I'm telling you. He just says stuff. Jesse says Packers will be either number 1 seed or number 2 seed at most. But Packers will be lights out this season. Road to the Super Bowl starts Sunday against the Lions. Go Pack, go. See, that's that comment I like to see right here. I like that, Jesse. Let's go. Dude, that's the mentality we have. And people are saying, like, well, you're just like Cowboy fans. You're delusional. You think Super Bowl. Like, why shouldn't we think Super Bowl? People talk about Jordan Love about last year when he didn't even have a horrible season, and he had 2 injuries. It's like, and we have Josh Jacobs. Like, looking at the key positions and what the Packers have, why shouldn't we be hopeful? You could say what you want about Jordan Love. Jordan Love is about the ball out. Jordan Love healthy with a new weapon, Matthew Golden. Tucker Kraft's about to pop off. Romeo Dobbs. People can sleep on this receiving group. And then when Watson comes back, are you kidding me? We got 2 capable tight ends, bro. This offense can do it. Now they got a weapon on defense. We got to figure out that special teams. I ain't going to lie to you. We got to figure out that special teams. But, dude, I'm hyped about this team. And why shouldn't you be? If you're not, I don't know. I feel bad for you. This is a team worth being hyped over. So let's get to some more comments over here before I get too excited. Tyler Herrick in the building. What's up, GOAT? Said, what's up? Nice camera and setup, man. You're such a pro. Hey, I'm trying. You know what I mean? I'm trying. I wouldn't say I'm a pro, but we're getting after it. Shout out to Tyler Herrick, the go to social media over there. Off season is depressing. And it really is, dude. I'm not like an off season talker. I'm not like a draft expert. I'm not expert at anything. So, like, unless something's actually happening, I ain't got nothing to say about it. You know what I mean? But we had fun this offseason. We tried. I'm about to goot my cunt. Or I don't think I said it. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, over here. Glad it's at home. Dude, that is for real. The Packers playing the Lions week 1. I am so pumped that it's at home. Not that I'd be scared to play in Detroit, but playing at home makes it so much easier. Week 1. Everyone's going to be kind of a little shaky, I think, on both sides. As shaky as the average NFL game is on week 1. So, yeah, it's definitely good to be at home. Steven says, how about an early season prediction? I'm saying 13-4 for the season. Any takers? What do you think, Matt? See, I had him at 13 wins before Parsons. All right. And maybe I was being a little, getting ahead of myself. Maybe I wasn't. but I'm gonna say 14 now. I'm gonna give him one more win because of Parsons, and it'd probably be more than one win, but I probably had him maybe a little bit higher than I probably should have. But I think 13, 14, they're gonna get that, and they're gonna win the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Just so you know about that. Rory says, you think Vikings are a legit threat again this year, JJ McCarthy? All right. Good topic. I think the Vikings are a really good football team. And if JJ McCarthy can just be slightly above average and not turn the ball over, like they will be a threat. Dude, like he's got receivers, dude. He's got Justin Jefferson. He's got Addison. No, he's got Thielen. I don't know. I mean, you got Thielen, all right? No disrespect, Thielen. He made fun of Lambeau Field one time, so I didn't feel bad for him. But I think Thielen's a good dude. But I'm not too scared about that weapon. But they have the weapons on offense. They got a good defense. Can McCarthy not make mistakes? Can he, when pressured, not throw picks, not make mistakes, not fumble the ball, not get like sacked and fumble and get all discombobulated? If he can do that, I think that they have a chance. It's not a trash football team for sure. But the quarterback is the question mark, and hopefully he sucks, but we're gonna find out. You know what I mean? We're gonna find out, baby. Ronald says we're taking the North back in our division. They just live there. Dude, I always say that the Packers own the North. But sometimes we got to have rentals, you know what I mean? We got to Airbnb that thing sometimes, babe. We got to make our money. But the Packers definitely own the North. They're coming back for it. They're gonna stop the rental fees, and they're gonna take that thing back. But Jeremy says my Parsons jersey won't be here yet, so I be rocking my Matty Hot Ramage cheese shirt. Go Pack, go baby. Oh, I like that. Dude, that shirt is funny because that shirt, the idea of that shirt is Ryan Rubel, a friend of mine. He obviously content creator for those who don't know, check him out. But he said that one time in a group chat, and he's like, that should be a shirt. And then I told my merch dude, I told Dakota, and he made it, and there we are. Now we sit. And if you bought it, you might be the only one. Here we go. Ronald says we're putting cases on all those. All right. Okay, I think that's the same one. All right, here we go. Braden says incentive to make this year the year. Who knows? Yeah, dude. I think, dude, this is. I think the Packers window just opened a little bit. You know what I mean? I thought that they were going to be good to begin with. I feel like Jordan Love coming off an injury, like being healthy and being able to play the game that he wants to play, being able to roll out when he wants to and make people miss. I feel like that was missing a lot in his game last year. So I think that sky's the limit for Jordan Love. I really do. And I ain't no scout. I know people. I ain't trying to act like an expert, but that's what I think. I ain't gonna lie to you. What's up, Kevin? Richard Sherman quote: Trade throws the Packers deep into the conversation of being a Super Bowl contender. Dude, Richard Sherman is showing the Packers love, baby. We got to. I was trying to find a sound effect over here. We'll just give him the air horn. All right. I was going to do an applause. I got to organize these better. You know what I mean? But shout out to Richard Sherman. Me and him went back and forth on Twitter a couple of times. We were talking about the Packers. He didn't believe in them. But apparently he's starting to believe now, you know what I mean? And it's different. So I respect that he's saying, now, that they're making moves and they're, he's not going back on what he said. He just say, hey, but, things have changed a little bit. So, if he sees it, it's the truth. Here we go. Jonathan, driving up from Mississippi, be there Thursday. Let's go. I like that. So who else is going to the game? Who else is going to the Packer game on Sunday? I'm going to be there pre-game. I'm going to be out there tailgating, doing some content. I'm going to have my microphone. I got my microphone bag right here. And you open the microphone, or it's not the content bag, I call it, right? We got microphones in this thing. We're going to walk around talking to folks and be like, what's up? What you think about the season? Whatever. So if you see me, talk to me, say, what's up? Let me do a video with you, and then we'll do some videos. I'll have some cards and questions ready and whatnot. I'm a professional content creator, people. I'm just messing with you. Brayden, this is a move that says, screw the next step. We are all in on you. Go perform. Dude, that is what this move says. It kind of says, like, people were talking about ed policy, right? And the thing about ed policy, I actually, before I get to that point, even like Parsons wearing number 1, I think that might have been ed policy. because I think that they were on the fence, like because players would be like, "I'm gonna be number one," and then they'd be like, "No, you can't," and it like wasn't officially retired. I feel like Ed Policy is like, dude, screw it, let him be number one. He's our big time. He's supposed to be this big, gadget player. He's supposed to be like this big phenomenon that the next Reggie White that a lot of people are saying. So like, let him be number one. And I think because like it wasn't retired, but I feel like Ed Policy is changing some stuff. You know what I mean? So I feel like even this move was like, let's go do it. Like, do you think we have all the right pieces to be really good? And if we add this piece, we could be great. We have a chance to go get the ring. Then let's do it. We'll figure it out later. And I don't think it's a figure out later because I think they have a plan. They know how to manage the cap and whatnot. So I feel like, but I do think Ed Policy is about that business. Not to say that the last guy wasn't, but I feel like he's a little bit more edgier. He's a little bit more let's go get after it. You know what I mean? And Ronald, being a Philly guy myself, Eagles fans are trying to be nice because we got Micah, but as soon as week 10 comes, they're going to talk trash. We're eagle hunting this season. I want revenge. Keep sleeping on the pack, baby. You know what I mean? I agree. First of all, shout out to Eagles fans. I'm going to be in New York this year, so I ain't got nothing to say about Eagles fans. That's a little too close. You know what I mean? They get rowdy sometimes. No, but yeah, I think that there's the Eagles, that revenge game has to happen. The Packers, dude, hopefully, knock on wood, I mean, the one thing that worries about me, I don't even like to say the word, but it starts with the I, you know what I mean? So, but it's a long season, but man, I would love to just be able to knock out the Eagles just because last season, and let them know, you know what I mean? New sheriff in town, baby. Karen says, it is written, J Love 27th birthday is just on the horizon. Seems to be a real thing about being a Packers quarterback and winning Super Bowl at 27. We are going to win this season. Yeah, I mean, and I always make the reference about Aaron Rodgers. He won in his third year as a starter. This is Jordan Love's third year as a starter. That's the year that they win the Super Bowl. So let's go get this thing this year. And they got the weapon now. We got Parsons. We got the big defensive weapon because all those Super Bowls, we had a big defensive weapon. We had Reggie White. We had Charles Woodson. Parsons can be that guy. You know what I mean? Jesse says, Matt, I think you should run for NFL Fan of the Year because you do so much for the NFL and the Packers. You deserve it. You are all our heroes. I appreciate that, Jesse. I think there's a lot more people who are better off than that. You know what I mean? But I do appreciate it. And Kevin says, I'm going with the odds. Packers 17-0, and you'll see me batting over 500. Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, though, I do have a Pick'em League. So if you're not in my Pick'em League, message me. I can figure out how to get you the info. It's on the CBS Sports app. It's free. But the winner, I will be sending a $100 gift card from the Packers Pro Shop. All right. So the number one spot in my Pick'em League, and there's a lot of people in it. I think there's like over 300 people, maybe 400 now. So join the Pick'em League. If you win the whole thing, $100 Packers Pro Shop. Maybe I'll even figure out to do some like consolidatory prizes for like the top 3 or 4 or whatever, maybe shirts and like, smaller stuff. But but the Packers are not involved in that. That's me buying up. Obviously, I don't think you are confused, but I think I have to say that legally. Not affiliated with the Green Packers or the Packers Pro Shop. I'm just gonna buy that thing. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. If we win the Super Bowl, I'm gonna cry, dude. You know what I mean? I'll cry on live stream because I would live stream that thing. All right, there you go. What's up, James? How you doing? He says, Matt, go Lions. All right. I like it when the rivals chime in the comments. I appreciate that. The schedule is toughest I've seen in a long time. 13 wins for sure. Wins division. I don't know. I think that every NFC North team schedule is kind of tough. I mean, I haven't really looked at it recently. I looked at it like when they first came out. Because like the Lions is obviously they got to have a tough schedule. I don't have it in front of me, but I think it's gonna be tough for everyone. Preach, Reverend Ramage, Super Bowl this year. Can I get an amen? Amen. Brian said, Love needs to show me something still. I think I see enough. I mean, I want to see more, but I think Jordan Love has the goods. I think everyone's gonna see this year. I think this team's gonna go crazy. I really do. Keith says, Rashawn Gary gonna have a year taking less attention. Yeah, he's not gonna get as much attention. He's gonna feast on him. You know what I mean? Raymundo, what's up, man? How you doing? He says Packers fans got we were asking for. Need extra help on receiving? Golden. You need help on rush? Gary and now Parsons. Did I forget to say we have Josh Jacobs to control the running game and McKinney's control in the back? See you at effing Santa Clara, baby. I think that's how it ended. But yeah, dude, absolutely. The Packers have the pieces. They have the running game because I think that's going to be a lot of the Packers' offense this year is going to be Josh Jacobs. I think that they're going to throw a lot out of that, but I think the foundation of the Packers offense is going to be Josh Jacobs. And then, Tucker Kraft, they have all types of different that's the beautiful thing is like you got Matthew Golden, you got Dobbs, you got this receiving group, but you got the tight ends, you got the running back, and Josh Jacobs can catch out of the backfield too. Like there's so much that they can do. Matt LaFleur can get fancy with it, he can get crazy with it, you know what I mean? I'm excited. Y'all excited? Steve Smith says Packers are going to win the division, Lions are going to take a step back. I don't even know if they need to take a step back for the Packers to win the division because the Packers are going to take such a step forward. It's going to be craziness. Steven says, I'll be watching the game online with Wisconsin's national treasure, Mr. Matt freaking Ramage, you Schroyer Bears fans. There you go, baby. There you go. All right. But yeah, I will be live streaming during the game. So if you want, tune in during the game. And I do play-by-play, and I have fun. So even if you're not going to watch the whole game, jump back and forth with me and come hang out for, when you feel like it. It's going to be a fun time. You know what I mean? I like doing those. It's way more fun when everyone's hammering the chat, watching the game with me. It's a good time. Eagles fans are wild. Dude, Eagles fans are wild. They're good people, though. I actually know one Eagles fan that I'm a good friend with, and he's a solid dude. They're just passionate. Some a little bit too much, you know what I mean? Jared says, Matt Ramage, what's the season record prediction? I'm saying 13-4. Also, what's the best deal at Quick Trip this week? I'm saying 14 wins. I said it earlier. The best deal at Quick Trip this week, I don't see, you put me on the spot there. I don't know their whole schedule. I know that they just had a deal on chicken sandwiches, though. So I don't know the whole routine, but I'll tell you my favorite thing to get at Quick Trip right now, macaroni and cheese. And it's always macaroni and cheese, but they have this little pocket thing that it has a cheese-filled breadstick and a chicken strip in it. It's like a little cardboard box, keeps it warm and whatnot. And then you take it to your truck, you take it to your car, whatever, you eat it on the road. It's good stuff. Cheesy breadsticks, dude. There, what's up? All right, let's keep her moving over here. Steve says 1 in 2011 as a 6 seed. I forget what we were talking about there. See you at the game on Sunday, bro. Yeah, I won't be in the game. I'll be tailgating a little bit, but then I'll be back home live streaming. But here we go. What's up, Daniel? Thanks for tuning in. He says, go Pack, go from Houston, baby. Robert, I mean, the Bears always have a tough schedule when the team would struggle versus most college football teams. Every game goes tough for the Bears. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? I gotta laugh and here we go. Can you guys hear those sound effects? Because I don't. I'm wondering because I'm gonna use a lot of these. Fool's Gold Lions, dude. I'm almost tempted to show you guys my field goal. Dude, I got some good graphics, dude. Should I show you one? I don't want to show the touchdown, but maybe I can show the field goal one if people really want to see it. Dude, I got some good graphics for the game streams. This is going to be a fun season of game streams. We got some good stuff. Anyways, I'm just going to show it. You guys ready? I can't resist. Here we go. Hey, look at that! That's cool, isn't it? Oh, that's a beautiful thing. Shout out to Steven. He made that for me. You need that womp womp sound. I think I might have it on here. Hang on. I had to organize all these. Yeah, I think I got that one. There you go. Ellen says, Goff going to wish he came. I'm gonna start over. Goff gonna wish he can look left and right at the same time like you. Keep one eye on Parsons and one eye on Gary. Cooper will then bring into focus up the middle. Dude, I like that comment. I wish I read it better. That's a solid comment right there. I appreciate it. Sound effects are hidden, but a little light. Yeah, I have to figure out because the speaker's over there, the mic doesn't pick it up. So I have to figure it out. It doesn't need to be too loud though, because people, especially that air horn, people might get annoyed by it. But yeah, we're gonna figure it out because this the live streams this season are gonna be a lot of fun. They're gonna be a lot of them. I might do some earlier too, throughout the week. I want to do a ton of these things, and get content down by Lambeau Field. Like I say, I'll be out there tailgating on Sunday. I'll have my mic. I'll have some questions, like some serious questions, some fun questions. Talk to a bunch of fans. I'm gonna be heading out to that Twitter tailgate, and of course the Liddy Liberty tailgate over on Liberty. The Drew Cave and the whole SoCal Backer crew goes down there. It's always a good time. I want to stop out there, so you should too. And remember, if you go to tailgates and they're giving you food, they're giving you drinks, look for somewhere there's a QR code. Leave a tip for your tailgaters. You know what I mean? For your tailgatee, I should say. If you're a guest, you just walk by, they offer you alcohol, they offer you soda, drinks, food. Leave a tip. You know what I mean? That's my tip. You know what I mean? Here we go, Kevin. Love those graphics. Awesome to see the community making this fun for everyone, dude. That's the thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's awesome. Like people just like, dude. Steven was just like, hey, I can help you out, and a lot of people have done that. I appreciate it. We are gonna wrap this thing up. I appreciate everyone hanging out with me. Lots of live streams coming this season. All right, we locked in, baby. Week 1, Green Bay Packers, Detroit Lions. Let's go out here and get this W. Get it started right.